So guys, just realized I was muted, so we'll start over. Alright, so I just went on a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I could go comebacks, but let's get started with our academic calendar. Just last week. You guys message me and ask me like where you think the market's going. I don't know. We just play price action on the day. That's the main thing. We find the newest one. All right. Monday, housing market index. European gets CPI year over year, Eurozone, and then UK. That could move the European markets, which you could tell European markets do affect us a little bit more than the Asian markets. We have building permits, housing, home sales. So home sales are going to be interesting. Thursday jobs. Lagarde press conference for Europe. We shouldn't have any speakers today because we have the blackout for Feds until FOMC. So usually 1 week or 2 week going into FOMC, they have a blackout period where they're not allowed to talk about interest rates and all that. It's very interesting because I was watching someone on TikTok that the night of that's canceled, like the night of FOMC or the night before, the increase of Uber rides to Wall Street from somewhere has, greatly increases like during the night. It's pretty crazy. He like laid it all on the table, all the Uber stats and all that on that. But not much speaking because the blackout, the Feds, not much data. It's all going to come next week. Earnings. So Bank of America, GS, Bank of America had good news on their earnings. Not sure what they're doing. Overnight, IBM starts the tech. IBM. I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna be playing Netflix. Netflix, has its huge moves. They have huge moves during earnings. They have some here and there. Abbott looks pretty decent to play. ASML. Watch this on the beginning of ASML. I'm pretty sure that's the chips, semiconductors. Then we have Tesla. Tesla's gonna be a big one. United, AT&T, American Airlines, and then Snap starts the social media one, which could be big. And CLF is a pretty good one to play. But it's all going to come down to the next week. Next week's going to be the crazy earnings week with FOMC, and we also have our GDP. So crazy gap up, or we're going to have a crazy gap up. We're up 1%, tech's up 1. Hang Seng, China did very well overnight. In a week, a day after their GDP, something very interesting that just stands out. VIX is up while ES is up. So that's definitely a little interesting. VIX gapped up. Don't know if it's going to be delayed or we're just gonna have like a huge gap down on that one. No, it's staying out. So VIX did gap up while but looking at overall, overall we're still in range. We're still in range. Now let's take out any lines. We're still in this range. We drop down, we ranged. Are we gonna pop up? Look at the weekly. Weekly, a lot of bottom wicks. They don't want it lower here, but we just can't get above that 39.15. Probably gonna be a nice short squeeze. Ooh, we might be short squeezing soon. So here we tap once, twice. See if we can break through it. We are in my supply, which is a strong supply because we were able to, from this supply, we were able to break structure down here. Let me see if I slide this up. So I was charting this for somebody. We go to daily and SPX, okay? So from the beginning of the year, this is our path, like a down, up, down, up. So this is our path from the beginning of the year. Yellow because it starts out. So the main thing looking at this, where did we create new higher highs, new swing highs? So just from seeing this, we have one here. And then we have one here. So at the beginning of the year, we've only created two swing highs. So we always made higher or lower highs, lower high, lower, lower, one higher, and then we started doing lower again. After we've created new swing highs, what ultimately happened? We'll go from the month, April 30th, down 10%. A month out from this high, that's what, June 6th, July 6th. Technically, we're down 12%. So that's kind of something I'm watching here. Are we going to create, we have to break. No, we haven't broken it yet. We're going to need to break here. This is on SPX. This is just showing because I don't have it a lot marked up on SPX. So it's kind of easier to show. But, we need to break that pivot here and that pivot here. Let's see if we can hold up and continue bullish movement up. But, we do have FOMC, tech earnings could swing either way, and then could just drop us. Tech earnings could just be holding off our drop. I think it did last time or a couple times ago where the market was only saved by tech earnings. But let's go ahead and start building our watch list for today. So right now we're at we broke one downtrend here, kind of in our flag. But overall, we are kind of breaking our overall downtrend from, well, technically not. If I bring that all the way to our high, it hasn't broke. If I bring it to here, but the main thing is, I think if we get past this right here, we really don't have much volume going up here. If we're able to pass this, we should definitely see this low right there, 40.71. And then we're back into this kind of 2-week range we had. Let's go volume profile. So in here, most of the volume was straight down here. You can tell, look at no volume here. A little bit here, no volume there, a lot of volume there. So it's going to be a big, big move. Let's go ahead and kind of break it down where our supply and demands are. Right now, we kind of are in supply. We kind of are slowing down. So ES or data, earnings begin. How much data this week? 18th. Yes, we have. I wrote a 3,900 hold. I don't think it's going to hold as of now. If I was on futures, this is where I'd be shorting it. Tell here's our touch underneath. Resistance came above, support, and not sure what's going to happen. Looking to the downside overall, overnight, we just had a decent move up. I'm looking at this kind of 4-hour, our 4-hour sell candle. So we have ES over 39.50 squeeze time. And then we have a 38.78 4-hour demand. Let's look at our volume profile for last week. And you start putting these are really nice to do. So last week, we are, overnight we did hold that volume shelf. Let's actually look on the month, 7 months. Let's see what it is on the year. So see, we got this big volume right here. We're trying to get over, and nothing volume wise till here, which is marks up to my supply, and then volume here, which is my next supply. So if you guys are struggling with demand and supply, just pop on this. Another thing I like to do, we're in this flag. So what do you do in this flag? You take the volume profile of this flag, which is one of these. I gotta find where it is. So you can do it from that high to recent. And of course, I have it different. Apply defaults. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, still don't like that, but try to figure that out. I don't want dots. I try to do dots on a lot of things. I just don't like them. I still like lines. So when we're in this flag, here's our. Turn off, yeah. Here's our volume. Here's this volume here, volume node, volume low. It's all look at. Our VPOC is very interesting because it's down here. Since March 30th, our VPOC is down here. What's up, Brad? It's pretty interesting, but we have that volume here, a little bit here, a little bit there. So it's going to be definitely interesting. So, we're looking at that's what we're looking at. Yes, we got 3,900 to hold, which we can't hold. Over 3,950 we could squeeze because we could squeeze pretty much because we don't have that much volume since that sell off. And 38.78 4-hour demand. NQ. NQ. Here's our downtrend. 4-hour. Let me take a picture of ES. Chat. NQ. Just in this triangle. It hasn't really broken out. So I've updated this. We're in the supply. We have, our key pivots. We got 12, 1, 2, 1 key above. Let's go to our 4-hour. 4-hour, we don't have that one right there. We got that 3-hour. 3-hour 12.043. So that was right here. This is where, I kind of rejected this a little bit. That pivot there came out, rejected, and then pushed through. A pretty decent triangle. We're starting to sell off a little bit. I think we can probably sell off and open and then see what happens. SPY, huge dark pool. Here's my chart. Still, right here is that's our key right there. I feel like we're gonna fall pretty hard. 372. We were able to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we held this. The main thing is our bounce going to create a higher high? If not, if we start, if we drop, I think we're just going to drop right through that. $716, $2.4 billion right here on dark pool. 2 billion at 382.8. So as dark pool, I like to use as support and resistances. All right. So the main thing with SPY, 2.4 billion at 716. Dark pool starting to come in on this push up, this previous push up right here. Not much dark pool happened there, happening here. So let's keep that on watch. 388. We need to get above that 390. But we still have that 0.618 that we could possibly reject, but we do have a gap fill. VIX, just very interesting. It gapped up and it's kind of pushing while the market also gapped up. So that's very interesting. Apple, 150, huge pivot. Looks like we're over that. We're still going to be in this flag. Our next pivot. There's kind of our 2-day. 1, 2, 3. 3 days they agreed. 4 days they agreed on this price right here, and then the sell-off came in. So 156.71. So Apple, we have huge hold. 156.71. Supply. Demand wise, kind of weird. I don't like that demand here because this candle is not really there. I do have this one down here, 137. We do have a lot of consolidation here. AMD, I have an alert set here for this 2-day supply. It's right here, and then we dropped. This was our previous one. You can tell how from this one, we're able to drop. We came back in, touched it, dropped. I love those patterns where we have an initial drop, we come back in, and then we drop again. Those are my favorite ones. Kind of like here, we have our doji. We pushed up, we came back down, pushed up. This technically is a 2-day. I wish it would be red, a red candle or a white candle in my instance, right here. But it is a doji, small bottom, basing. There's our initial push up. This is initial push up. We came back down, tagged it, and continue up. What is an ABC pattern? I think a lot of people talk about, but that's what I got right there. But semis are nice. Amazon, not really. We took a great put end of day. Okay, this thing was up like 5%, ended up 2.5%. So we had, what do we have here? We had a doji, a green doji candle, green doji basing candle with a gap down that broke structure. There's our breaker structure right here. That's prime. You can almost guarantee. I'm not going to say guarantee, but more than not, we are gonna sell off from that. Where you have a this 4 hour little push up, gap down. So you just gotta imagine, your gap down candle is a red one right there. So, from this supply, we sold off 8%. Here's what it looks like in the 4 hour. This is a beautiful, beautiful. I mean, if we went 0 days, we would have got like 2,000, 3,000%. But lately, with me going 0 days, turn this. With me going 0 days on Fridays, the move seems to happen Monday or Tuesday. It happened with Roku and a couple other tickers. So I kind of want a day out, but we sold 1.58. We sold. The high was 1.82. I think it went to like 2.4. What 50%? Did it go to 2.4? Now I gotta look that up. One day it got up to 2.45. So that was a good. If we held, I just did not want to swing it. If we did hold it, that was a good 55% play. And I didn't get in when we initially rejected. Got a little bit later, but there's a gap down doji. That's just beautiful. 4 hour waiting here. You go look at the lower time frame. Just look at we hit it here, started to sell off a little bit, had like a little move up, and then look at that. We were just like straight selling. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful play. So waiting for that 118 pivot. I had Amazon kind of in no man's land, but not anymore. Gotta see what it does today. We have 1 hour here, so let's see. Possibly, if we do want to sell off during the day, I don't know what. I'm not trying to see what we do during the day. We might possibly just do like that. So let's mark that up. Got a 114.86 supply, and then a 110.23 demand. And then we have that downtrend. Okay, so if you guys are liking, or if you guys are watching, definitely like the stream, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Check out my Twitter. You guys could go to my Twitter, definitely follow. I'm so close to 1,000 subs. TikTok, I'm so close to 1,000 subs too. Google can't. Google's now hard because of the split, but we have, Google is in this kind of up channel. Have to redo all this because it messed up with the split. So it's trading at 12. Oh, at 12. Amazon and Shopify did sell off at open after the split, so that's kind of on watch. Their split is done. 112 should start getting a little liquidity. I love playing Amazon. We got Amazon week out 113 put for like pretty cheap. But obviously, it's not moving as much, but pretty cool that you could pay that little bit for an Amazon call. Meta. Right here with this beautiful. Meta is just following supply and demands beautifully. You have right here, this initial one, push up. We weren't able to break structure. We did break this one. That kind of is a swing. From this one, I got this one from this. For this demand, we pushed up 10.86. So, we did tap it again right here. We pushed up 11. So in here, what do? We create a new demand. I'm going to go to the lower time frame. If you go to lower time frame, you don't really see much demand here. But, look at your 4 hour. You have a lot. 1, 2, 3 candles, basically 3 candles in a row. Kind of a big demand. Definitely would have had to take a swinger because you had to risk your downside here, possibly average down. You use that uptrend also for a good average down point. And you can tell, look at that. But also the only thing that scared me about this was, look, we came down here, we tapped it once, and then we had to push down a little bit farther into it, which was probably extended hours. Right there, yeah. There's our initial push from this push, and then we finally had to come down to here. So right there, that was our initial. This is beautiful. Came down, look at that. You came down, boom, pushed in it, pushed up, or come down again, and push up again. Solid move. So, of course, when we create demand, what do we do? Or when we bounce from demand, what do we do? We create new demand. Main thing here is this is a gap up right here. So this is definitely strong as a gap up. We kind of needed to break this. Well, it's going to break this area. We're looking for that gap fill on the daily. We have a little gap fill on the daily. And then we're up to this gap right here. Already hit it once, but right above that gap fill, what do we have? We have a drop, base, drop. So if we do gap fill, I'm looking to short it. So we have Meta, we have 158.27 demand. Supply wise, maybe 170.14 supply. 170.14 gap down supply. But if a short squeeze does happen, supplies are going to get destroyed. So if ES is able to break through, break over this 39.50 and we start a short squeeze where we just go up, go up. A lot of these supplies aren't going to matter. That's when you got to know the overall market sentiment. Microsoft, I don't like Microsoft, but you can tell right here, we had a nice strong sell-off. We caught this beautiful short. I got stopped out though, but these ran almost like 1,000%. This is my only loss last week. Almost ran 1,000%. And where do we touch? Basically in our demand, and we're pushed up. So we basically touched our demand, pushed up 6% after our strong sell-off. So we, in demand, we create, if we bounce from demand strong, we create new demand. So there's our new demand, 250.67. 250.67 demand. Supply wise, I'm just looking at this 2-day supply right here. or 3 day actually. 3 day. You have your. Here's this one. We didn't really hit this one. So we got a 3 day supply. 263.7. NVIDIA overall is in a big flag. Nice strong move from these lows, especially with chips, AMD, MU, TSM earnings. NVIDIA has earnings not until August, so NVIDIA earnings are a little bit later. On NVIDIA, NVIDIA kind of has a good upside. So key hold 60. Got a 165.19 2 day supply, which isn't the worst supply. Got a 4 hour there, and then a 2 day there. So got 2 day demand 152.68, 4 hour demand 156.59. Tesla. Tesla looks like the move's gonna probably happen during earnings. So look at this crazy consolidation. This crazy consolidation are kind of gapping up. We kind of have like a little supply up here. Supply at like 170 or 750. Our demand kind of have a 4 hour. It's interesting. Oh, that's weird. I don't like demands here. I do like the 703.88 demand 4 hour push up. We did push up pretty well. But then we have end of day. Tesla wasn't really strong. So we have a kind of a demand 4 hour demand there that we're going to gap up, but I honestly don't like it that much. So no 3.88 demand. Possible 21.5 demand. Cheers, thank you. But there's our watch for today. UVXY. I kind of was watching this. Kind of getting down to this. If we are able to fall here, we are getting down to this kind of this big pivot. I might, if we do get down here, 11:30. I'm probably gonna get UVXY swings calls. I mean, just look at that. Like, it is a descending triangle, but we shouldn't be we shouldn't be that low. You know what I'm saying? Like with VIX, we shouldn't be at 25. If we're in a recession, VIX should not be at 25. VIX, here's our, I need to update this with these. But here's VIX, kind of our triangle. So are we going to come back down here and then push up? Possibly. Here's our, right there. But appreciate you guys. Definitely like the stream before you guys go. Definitely help. Of course, people start rolling in. I'm about to finish up. Let's go ahead and just look at ES, what it's doing. We'll finish up. ES have a gap below. So ES doesn't have a gap, but let's see if SPY is going to create a gap. Here we are hitting our, there's our rejection. That was a good time to short. And then we're looking for a 38.78. So if we do come down here, 38.78 and possibly pop up, we could see a nice run. There's our downtrend. Downtrend from from 330. ES, you can do paper trading on ES. I guys didn't know this. So let's go ahead and, we're gonna go ahead and sell. Can't I sell? Wish it would. My stop loss at 200 ticks. 938. No, it's not ticks though. What? Oh, there's 4 ticks, 8, so 10. We'll do 10 tick. Good 12 tick. No, we're not gonna risk that much. 38.90 stop loss? No. This is a lot. I want to sell. Let's see. Sell. So this is what I do on futures. Sell. We're gonna put our stop at like 38.95. Well, with futures as well, like I like to take this kind of like if you see we're starting a downtrend, I like to take that pivot. I sell like right before, or right under that pivot. Like keep your stop loss just a little bit above, and usually you catch that nice little right here. We would have shorted here, and then there's that nice drop. So I would put my stop loss like up here. So you guys are interested in futures, you could do it straight on here. You can do it straight on TradingView, paper trading. Definitely helps out. See, there's that down $500. So that's how crazy it is. Like all you need on futures, like right here, this move. It's like just showing like NQ, this move right here for CPI. You would have gotten the top right here and sold at the bottom. That move was $10,000 per one contract. So if you're able to do that, you would have made 10 grand. And how long? Like where else can you make 10 grand? And it took us 8:28 to 8:34, 5 minutes. You made 10 grand in 5 minutes. That's awesome. That's why I can't wait till FOMC. I'm just trading futures on FOMC. So, you know, this is like the only thing I like to use kind of formations like this. But this is a bear pennant flag triangle. But I appreciate you guys for joining. Make sure you guys like and subscribe on your way out. Go ahead and start writing up my watch list and all that. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I'm here at 8 a.m. every morning. Appreciate you guys.